Alright, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So it is finally time. I just looked it up quickly before I started recording this. It's been 5 months since I actually have done, not since I've done a read through, I think. I'll look at that. But since we have last visited Battle Angel Alita. So I'm really looking forward to getting back into this. I just managed to kind of refresh my memory of everything this past week and kind of get caught up with where I was. So a couple of quick intro disclaimer things before we get into the chapter proper. So like I meant, because I just finished recording my Kaiju number 8 One Piece videos are uploading now. So like I mentioned, those ones, it is super hot over here. So I do have a fan running. So you are going to hear some slight background buzzing noise because it is running, right next to me. Apologize, but I did some tests. My voice, you can clearly hear my voice over. It's not going to drown it out or be too distracting or anything. But in case you're wondering what that background noise was, it is the fan, just to let you know. I'll do proper channel update stuff with tonight with plans for next week and things like that. But I decided not to do a live stream of the read through this week, just because I have some deliveries and other things I need to keep an eye out for. So in case I need to pause the video or take a break or do something like that, I didn't want to have to do that in a live stream and kind of step away for an indeterminate amount of time. I didn't feel like that would be right or done well. So for this week at least, I decided I'd record the video, and then starting next week I'll go back to actually doing live streams for them, so look forward to that. So I'm guessing it's because I have about, as you can see, about a quarter or less left of volume 4 to get through for Alita, and then the rest of volume 5, which I think has my favorite cover in the series so far, with Zeka and his little rock band. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that. I'll probably be finishing off the series next week, I think, so I'll talk about what's going to happen then once that's done. But without further ado, let us pick up with Battle Angel Alita where we left off all those months ago with Chapter 72, The Tide is Turning. And you see Alita walking in front of a statue of Quadraveka, the space dog, the first living mammal to reach Earth's orbit. Little Curly was on board the Sputnik 2, which launched on November 3rd, ES1, 1957. So you see, we're into the 7th day of the 10th Zot, which has certainly seen its share of turmoil. The Block B semifinals, Genome Kingdom of Venus versus Space Karate Forces, have been delayed for 2 days to allow for repairs to the arena and fortification of the spectators' seats. And you see Jack going, and every member of the audience is required to sign this legal contract that reads, authorities cannot be held responsible for any loss of life or property while spectating. And you see, what was it, Cricket? Oh no, it's Hopper. I knew something related to that. Hopper goes, that way no one will be able to complain if they die while watching. And Jack asks, and are you planning to go too, Mr. Hopper? How did you survive? And you see him just as he's just smoking. And he goes, you bet your sweet patootie I am. This Titanic has sailed far too far to turn back. While many are fleeing out of an instinct for self-preservation, a few are willing to risk their very lives in order to witness history. I, Jack Garambo, will of course continue to broadcast the tournament from beginning to end for as long as I live. Come on. And you see the next page, and Body's back in his little meditation room in his black spandex suit. And he's got, I assume, some kind of computer glove or something on his arm. He's kind of meditating, and it says bioprint something. And you see a fool and his eyebrows kind of flicking and twitching. And he goes, what makes you think that my fate is in your hands? And he's remembering Alita telling him this. She goes, don't underestimate me. And why, may I ask, should I have to take orders from a loser? Go sign some papers. And you see him just gritting his teeth as his veins are popping and he's furious. And he goes, "The penalty for disturbing my meditation is death 1,000 times over. I will make them pay." And you see, "Master, it is I, your always loyal servant, Tis Crow." Tis Crow's decapitated head with his tongue lolling out, slowly dragging himself over to Embody. So he goes, "So, you're alive?" He goes, "Yes, it's like, my tenacity is one of my greatest virtues." Ah, that's so nasty. And he crawls over to Embody's foot and he just starts licking it. And he goes, "Oh, it is the ultimate happiness to have the singular honor of licking your mighty feet again." That's some kind of weird fetish. And Embody goes, "And your post?" He goes, "Sir, I came in great haste and against all odds to bear you breaking news." And he goes, "Breaking news? Do tell." And he goes, "The core block, she broke in. My former student, Joko von der Reiserklinge." And you see a blorscht as Embody just squishes his face, starts crushing it. And he goes, "So, Tis Crow, how old is this news?" And he just starts stomping on it as he goes, "Fool! Useless fool! You have a yeep!" As he kicks the head and sends it flying. And you see Aphrodite coming in. He goes, "Oh dear, you're in a foul mood. Well, can't say I blame you." And you see Embody just sweating and huffing and puffing as Aphrodite just leans down and picks up Tizik's head. And he goes, "The impact of Alita's resurrection is incalculable. Human society never ceases to fascinate. Won't you give this man to me?" And Embody's like, "Do as you please." And he goes, "All right, that I will." And you see on the next page, "The last flight from Cytheris to Olympus Spaceport, Mars, is now departing." And you see Aphrodite just grinning maniacally as he's getting ready to take off. Come on. You see on the next page, "What's going on?" And you see Cytheris Central Tower Ladder Conference Hall. As you see the Jovians and the Venusians calling a meeting with the chairman. And you have, "The Zot isn't over yet. Why are we here? I'm going to be late for dinner." And you see Ladder Assembly Fournier, Venus representative. And you have, "Oh, I thought the Jovians ran home already. Are you too ashamed to face your fellow citizens after your phenomenal disgrace in the semifinals?" Excuse me. And the Jovians go, "It's our duty to observe the crushing defeat of the Venusian team and report it to our homeland." And you see Lander Assembly Dodorov 68, Jupiter representative. You have, "Chairman, tell us why we're here." And you have, "What?" And you have Ladder Chairman Yajnik going, "I'm sorry, but I have no idea. I was summoned here too." And you see Embody, who's kind of just looming in, just kind of comes into the picture, and he goes, "You are here at my behest." And you have Ladder Assistant Chairman Aga Embody, and he goes, "Until the Zot is over, what we discuss here must be kept within these walls." And Fournier goes, "So this is a top secret ladder, emergency ladder summit, eh?" And 68 goes, "Does that mean the topic on the table is the Zot?" And Embody goes, "For the first time in the Zot's 200-year history, a civilian team has defeated a seeded team. This might tip the balance of power that the Ladder Assembly has safeguarded for so long. You know what we must do. I, Aga Embody, must request authorization to use the Sword of Damocles." Jeff, what? It's like the Sword of Damocles. I feel like I should know what that is, but I do not. And you see in the next page, back in the little habitat ring, you see Alita slurping on a shake as she goes, "You want to talk to me?" And Zazi's kind of just like, yes. And you see Zazie goes and gets herself a hot coffee. And Alita goes, "How's Lemuria?" He's like, "She's fine." And you see them just kind of twiddling their thumbs. Zazie slowly sipping her coffee. And Zazie's like, I don't know how to talk to her." And you see 10 minutes later, it's like, "I'm good with firearms, but small talk is way outside my area of expertise." And he's like, Alita, we have to talk. And you see Elephant Wolf posing as Alita and Zazie with, I can't remember which one got killed. I think Wolf was the one that got killed or shot in the head. And goes, Alita, will you marry me? And the other one's like, what? Oh my gosh, but we're both girls. And so he just pulls out a gun and is like, where did Alita go? He's like, oh, don't shoot. It's like she left. Because Elf got killed, his Wolf is the one that was alive. So you see Alita just kind of laying down on a pipe, just looking kind of forlorn, she's kicking her feet. And she sees on the outside Toji just kind of like practicing his space karate with electricity kind of crackling off of him. And he goes, to buoy my will once more, I consult my fist. For whom is planet karate? For what purpose is the way of karate? And you see ES-587, Hellas Colony Mars. Hellas Colony built on Hellas Plain, a giant crater 2,100 kilometers wide in the southern hemisphere, ruled by the Mars Republic Army. This vast city has maintained peace for the past 120 years. Universal Karate Championship hosted by Electromagnetic Karate and held every 1.88 Earth years. And you see 45th Universal Karate Championship, and you have a mind-boggling 20 in a row by Toji, and a kaboom as you see another skyscraper collapse. And you have ha 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 ha, and you see a toom crash as Toji and his karate buddies are just kind of arrogantly waltzing through the city and just kicking stuff out of their way. And he goes, I was so self-satisfied back then. And he sees a bunch of kind of like street urchins behind this cage kind of making faces at him. Going, Toji! He's like, ha! He's like, dang street urchins, let's chase him off. And Tosi kind of grins and goes, huh. And he goes, hold on. And he's like, and he pretends to contemplate it. And he goes, humph! He just sends a punch towards them. And you see a whoa! As some of the kids get sent flying back. And you see one of them still like holding on as best as he can from the shockwave. And he reaches his arm through the fencing. And he manages to kind of just gently tap Toji's knuckle with the top. And he goes, awesome! And you see Toji, I'm told that you've been feeding those street urchins. And you see Electromagnetic Karate current headmaster Radon. And he goes, yes sir, some leftover scraps to raise future students. And Radon goes, fool! They aren't human. Aren't human, or they are human? They aren't human. And he goes, indeed, under current law, children are not deemed human. But you all seem to forget that every one of us was once born a feeble infant. That electromagnetic karate prospered because its founder, Tunpo, taught street urchins first. And you see all the other masters around him going, that trash! How dare he! It's a disgrace to the title of Slaughter Master. And you see, I got suspended. There are taboos that must never be made explicit within a group, no matter how true. In the main dojo where you must present yourself as large and powerful, it is heresy to admit that each and every warrior used to be a child. And you see a few days later, the street urchins were hunted down by the public health department. Ooh. And you see a wee-oo, tum-tum-tum, crash, blam. And you see, at the time, all I could feel was distress over my suspension and despair for the future of karate, which appeared to be doomed. Fed up with the politics and the power struggles of the main dojo I dreamed of, an ideal place named Planet Karate, beyond the bickering of various schools, where children could train free from fear. And so I chose to enter the Zot as part of the Space Karate Forces, fully aware that I might be expelled from my school forever. Yes, that is why we must win the Zot. We're so close, but why now? And he sees him hearing a pop, 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 ah! It's the voices of the street urchins calling for help. They haunt me. It's like, what do you stand for, Fist? What does karate stand for? He kind of just falls to it and he goes, sorry. Like, I'm so sorry I couldn't save you. He's got tink tink as these things are just falling out. And he's like, what is this? Tears? I've grown so weak. And as he's kind of lamenting all of this, You see someone putting a hand on from behind him. And you see that it's Tunpo who goes, "Well said. Don't take it so hard." And Toji's like, "Can I grow strong? Do I still have a shot?" And Tunpo's like, "Strong? Why, you're only starting out. That's the way of karate. Make sure you become someone worthy of being reflected in those bright, shining eyes. Show the whole world, Toji, your dream of Planet Karate realized." Oh. So we get to chapter 73, Karate Wars. And you see 10th Zot Day 8, Block B Semifinals Day 1. And you see this ship that looks like a giant Tengu face that has Universal Karate Federation coming in. And you have another one with this giant fist, and you have Solar System Karate Federation. You have, what's this? A bunch of bizarre ships keep docking. And then you see these fellows showing up going, "We are the UKF. Grant us entry. We are here to support the Space Karate Forces." And you see UKF is Universal Karate Federation. And you see, hold it right there. The SSKF are standing by to fill vacancies. See, SSKF is Solar System Karate Federation. Pages. And you see, coming to you live from Arena 3, which has been specially provided for us by the Zot Committee, this is Jack Garambo for Combat TV. With the Block B semifinals tomorrow, a throng of candidates is on hand to join the Space Karate Forces. Take a gander. Prominent karate veterans from all over the solar system. Over 100 of them. You see all the various different forces that have assembled for this. And you see, but there are only 4 reserve slots for the Space Karate Forces. I sense a storm brewing. The big question is, will they be accepted by Zeka, captain of the Space Karate Forces? Do you have an eek? And Zeka's just sitting there, his legs up, crowning down, knocking back a beer. So you have Zot rules permit a team to submit entries for 5 members and 5 reserve members. Zeka goes, "Here, I'll show you a little street magic." Jeff, He's like, "Of course, I'm not using any gimmicks." And he puts the beer bottle down, and he just slams it down with a blam. Jeff, He's like, "The beer bottle is gone?" He's like, "It's not on the other side. So how?" And you see with a pop, it just drops out of Zeka's hand in a form into a complete imprint of his palm. And he goes, "Here, keep it." And Hopper goes, "The strike is so fast that the glass molds into the shape of the hand before it shatters. This must be the legendary Ball Might. Only a few in the entire universe can pull off this amazing feat, worth several million at auction." You see Space Karate people going, "Oh, I love that guy. Ooh, Zeka." He's like, shucks. And Garambo's like, "Maybe he's nicer than he seems." And you see them all just like, "Rah!" as they're cheering. And you see up on the roof, Toji's just having a nice little meal as he's making boiling some water for some tea. He goes, "They never even replied to my call, but Zeka's got them all riled up." And you see a thump as Alita jumps up and lands next to him and goes, "Sounds like a party out there." He's like, "Alita, join me for tea?" She goes, "Yes, thank you." And he takes a little wooden brush and just brush and just like whips up some matcha tea for her. This giant ass cup, Alita has to use both hands to lift up and just like drink down. And she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Any milk or sugar?" He's like, "Nope." So there. And you see a tea. It's like, "Such a splendid routine, Zeka. Let us join as one. Naturally, it'd be mutually beneficial to settle this quietly and incorporate the UKF into the Space Karate Forces. Tee! It's like, that low-down slug's offering a bribe? Master Buttkiss of How Now Karate. But will our idol Zeka go for it?" And you see, "He's out of there." And Zeka just knocks him back. "You have not money nor women tempt him. Time for the How Now Karate ultimate tactic." And he just bows down, does a Dozega pose, and goes, "Sir, please." It's like, there it is, the flawless kowtow of Master Buttkiss. And you see the character of martial is written as stopping the sword. This is a true martial art. And you see how now karate people's hands are just sobbing. Look, it's so beautiful. It's like nobody can help but feel sympathy for one who performed such a beautiful gesture. And Zeka's like, see, or no, the space karate guy's like, see, this is the secret of our school's political power. The reason we have branches on Venus and Jupiter. The how now kowtow. And you see a tup as Zeka just puts his palm on his head. He's like, oh, I did it. He's mine. And Zeka's just mad. He's like, is that your imitation of a toad? And you have a whop. As he just does the same thing. It smashes his head into the ground and just flattens it in the palm of his hand. And he goes, here, keep it. You have a yipe as he hands over the head. He's like, he's so scary. And they're like, how cool. It's like, meanie. And Zeka goes, take note, all of you. I don't care about your resume. Fight. If you call yourself a karate master, prove it. If any survivors strike my fancy, then maybe I'll let you join my team. And they're like, prove? Survive? Strike his fancy? Join his team? It's like, begin. So they all start wailing on each other. You have Zot Extradition Part 2. Space Karate Force Reservist Trials. An out-and-out free-for-all. Why, it's practically a war. Yes, a karate war. Excuse me, I need to drink water here. And Grumbles like, yikes, Mr. Hopper, can you please explain what's going on here? And he goes, they say there are currently 180 million practitioners of karate in the universe, far more than any other martial art. But rivalries between the numerous schools and organizations, due to vast differences in ideologies, have led to chaos. I'm not going through the whole spreadsheet, but there's a whole like little tree of like how the current karate divisions came about. You have UKF as one of the two major blocks. They teach popular karate and are ridiculed for their political goals and commercialism. You have Quadrilateral Karate Cube, Robo Karate Robbie, Seven Gods of Fortune Karate Daikoku. With so many participating, some real powerhouses have been created. The other faction is the rough-hewn SSKF. Their style is close to kickboxing. You have Tesla Karate Volt, Nuclear Corp Karate Pluto, and Rider Karate Grasshopper. You have Don't undervalue its functionality in down and dirty combat. There are also a number of unique factions and influential individuals that don't belong to either. You have Anti-Tank Karate Vulcan, Shochusen Karate Quadra Punch, Spinning Karate Roll, Serpent Karate Cobra, Curve Karate Squiggle, Octo Karate Kraken, Vampire Karate Chupacabra. It's like I also see rare examples of what we scholars call UMA, Unidentified Martial Artists. It's like, do these count as karate too? It's like most are but poor imitations. These days you can be expelled from electromagnetic karate one day, and 3 days later open your own dojo. Over there is the Zodiac Karate Constellation. They've been attracting attention recently for being quite functional in combat. And you see Mad Cow the Taurus, Sting the Scorpio, and Finnegan the Pisces. And you see Ra! And you see Toji and Alita just calmly having tea above all this chaos. And Toji goes, this is the first time we've sat down to talk. First, let me say I owe you a debt of gratitude. And he bows and goes, thank you. If I hadn't fought you and lost on Leviathan 1, then I would never in my entire life have discovered the true way of karate. This is the first, and Alita goes, this is the first time I've been thanked for striking someone down. You're a strange one. It was once, you see, I was unable to respond to the cries for help of my little friends. Well, he's just silent. As Toji continues, I let them die, not due to fear or because I was powerless. No, I simply lacked the heart. I lacked the heart to reach out and respond to their pleas. Using my skills to save lives, that didn't even occur to me. Since the days of old, martial arts have been taught to encompass the body, technique, and heart. With my powerful body, I hone my karate skills, but without a heart, there is no point to power. The heart drives skill and technique. When at last I stumbled upon that realization, I achieved enlightenment. My training of 40 years was rejuvenated, and I have returned to the ideals with which I started. Back when I went to the dojo with a thrill in my heart. And he's like, "Gah!" This is a giant explosion from down below. And Alita's like, "I haven't been gone long," and he's grown so much stronger. As a warrior, nothing could make me happier. And Alita goes, "Next time we'll be able to fight without holding back." As we get to chapter 74, The Samurai and the Cat. Alright, got some time. And you slamash! See, 5 minutes have passed in the karate wars. More than half are already reduced to remains. See, it's like, this is so boring. So stifling with so many boys. Aren't there any girls in this fight? And you see armor-piercing karate Rakan. And you see you. And you have Judo Karate Mercury. Do you mock a sacred battle among men? And you have Kokushin Karate Amin. And Astro Karate Ganga. And Omega Society Zakuro. You have, he's a wanted man. Serial sexual assault and murder. We should execute him to spare the honor of the karate world. And you have a, I'm afraid you won't be able to kill me. And you see a pop, 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 pop. As all of them take one fist to the head, as who gets taken down. So Zakuro, Ganga, and all get taken down with one blow to the head. With Mercury being the only one left standing, who also took a blow, but he avoided it. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. It's going to take me a while to kind of memorize these ones. So Rakan goes, "So you avoided my finger thrust and outright death. Not the loser I took you for." And you see Mercury's kind of sweating as Rakan goes, "But your karate is mere sport." And he's like, It's like, what did you do? And Rakan goes, "In armor-piercing karate, the fingertips are equipped with cores of depleted uranium to improve penetration. I take the concept further and add deadly polonium. Once in the circulatory system, it violates brain cells, even a cyborg's." You see him with a shick as he pops these claws out of his fingers. He goes, "It's all over and you're gonna die." And Mercury's like, it's like, "You degenerate!" Tries to lash up behind him with a chop. And Rakan just kind of leans back and kicks him in the face. He goes, "Oops, you're dead." He goes, "Is this the fabled mercy of the samurai? Not that I'm any kind of samurai, you know. Hee hee." You have depleted uranium is heavy metal used in anti-tank shells. Due to its high specific gravity, about 1.7 times that of lead. And you have polonium, which is an element denoted by the symbol PO that has an atomic number of 84. A silver-white, highly radioactive metallic element discovered by the Curies in 1898. And you see back with Toji and Alita as Toji goes, "I'll tell you, a tale of the true martial arts." He goes, "Long ago, a samurai named Katsuken discovered a most ferocious rat wreaking havoc in his house. Katsuken had a cat, but she was wounded in battle, so the samurai brought in skilled mousers from the neighborhood. The first was a keen black cat." And you see Alita being like, "Oh, it looks like me." He's like, "Yes, I was born to kill mice. My pop made me practice acrobatics when I was but a kitten." He's like, "She was quick with fang and claw, but..." And you see him, "Meow!" He's like, "Sadly, the tables were turned on here." It's like, "Next up was a large tiger cat." And Alita's like, "Jaskun?" It's like, "I've long been able to generate a fighting spirit that can fill the heavens. My gaze can freeze a rat on a roof beam. A veteran of many wars, but..." You have a screech! He's like, "Sadly, the rat took him down too." It's like, "That's one tough rat." And you see, then came a wise old gray cat. And Alita's like, "Yep, oh, hers, like, too bad." And she's thinking of Sarula. And she goes, "Why antagonize when you can harmonize? I use my mind to bind the will of others, then corner them. Such a matter of psychological tactics accrued over the course of a long life. But even this fine cat had no chance." And you see, "Oh!" 108 hit. And he's like, "Serves you right." And you see, Katsuken was at a loss. Told of an incomparable champion mouser in a neighboring town, He had it brought to him. She was a scatterbrained calico. Olivia's like, huh? So the rat shook with fear at the sight of this cat. As you see this cat, it looks like one of those fortune cat statues, kind of waving its paw. He goes, the rat emerged defenseless and was captured and eaten. That night, the other cats asked where they had gone wrong. The calico pointed out each of their shortcomings. And he goes, there's no need for technique. Empty the mind, and in a natural state you'll have no enemy in the world. She then spoke of herself. And she goes, what I pass on to you is not the ultimate answer. Long ago, there lived a cat near my home who was by far my superior. He's like, who? And you see the cat of all cats is the Cheshire Cat. And you see Cheshire Cat, an elusive cat who can disappear as he pleases from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. It's like, it's never certain if he's there or not. The ultimate mastery without bloodshed. And Alita's confused, like, huh? Now it's Alice. And then Toji's like, actually, maybe it was Schrodinger's cat? He's like, you don't know? And you see Schrodinger's cat's thought experiment critiquing the quantum mechanics proposition that observation causes a definitive state. Imagine a cat in a sealed box with a bottle of poison. Applying the theory, it would have to exist in both an alive and dead state until the box is opened. Alita's just like, it's like, that's really zen. And he's like, oh, and Toji starts bawling. He's like, oh, Alita, I'm so moved. I've never gotten a reasonable reaction to this story before. It's like, just what came into my head. And he goes, that tale is from an age before electricity was harnessed. As an allegory to exemplify the stages of martial arts education. I don't know if the samurai and the cat even applies to us anymore. And you see the samurai and the cat more accurately translated as the mysterious skill of the cat from the original Japanese of Neko no Myojutsu. The original text is found in Quantry Shuangshi, written by Jurozima Niwa under the pen name of Chozan Isai, and published in 1727. This book of tactics was inspired to Shuangshi. Here it is simplified and dramatized as is literally filtered through Toji's vague memory. If you're interested, you can learn more about it on the internet. Apologize because I probably butchered some of those names. And you see, it's been 10 minutes of pure carnage. With corpses piling up, only a handful remain alive. And you see, ha! And a whoosh! As someone comes in, just both fists flying Superman style, rams it into the ground. There's a huge mushroom cloud explosion. Alita watches with a tish-tish. As you see, I've got no use for small fry. Be gone! And you see this new combatant entering the arena as he exchanges blows with some others. And he's just, as he just like lets off a shockwave explosion. Jeff, my leg! It's like the limbs of his foes in pieces? What the? Who is he? And he grabs the Minotaur Zodiac and just flips him by the horns. It's like some sort of shrimp beast in priestly garb. It's like, wait, can that be? And Zeka steps up and goes, wait, I've heard tell of you. You're Taraba of Super Karapis Karate, built on the esteemed Uechi style. You came all the way from the boondocks of Titan to see me? It's like, here comes Zeka. And Taraba goes, and what did my sensei tell me of you? That an old fart on Mars is a gifted pupil of Shuri-T, but you're not the one I want to see. And you have say what? As Toji dumps down with Alita, with a thum. And, what's his name? Taraba goes, Toji, electromagnetic karate, I wish to spar with you. It's like, to face the legendary Taraba, there is no higher honor. I see them both taking a fighting stance. As Grambo's like, so this is the... And Hopper goes, quiet! And you see them facing off. As they both, like, launch forward with the strike. And Toji does a chop down on Taraba's shoulder. As Taraba does a knife hand strike to Toji's plex. It's like, can it be a tie? And you see Zeka going, no. As Toji kind of drops down and goes, sir, I must yield. In a real fight, my hand would have broken, and your jab, it would have split my poor torso in two. Taraba goes, Toji, look at this pitiful view. A scene of mass carnage, the result of unbridled selfishness. This is a microcosm of our world. How could you honestly believe that merely founding your school of planet karate could unify such chaos. There are too many schools. And Toji goes, as long as the love of karate endures, all schools must be considered equal, no matter how they slander each other with accusations of being inauthentic or irregular. I have faith that the path to Planet Karate will open if pursued with true sincerity. Taraba's like straightforward and stubborn, but with a gleam of greatness. And he goes, get up. Make use of my old decrepit life to fulfill your aspirations. And they clasp hands as he goes, Taraba, thank you. Rakan just kind of bounces in and goes, ooh, it reeks in here. You guys are so gross. He's like, do I smell a... He's like, yes, it's a girl. And George's like, wait, Rakan. He's like, he's fast. And he just goes like bounding towards Alita. Oh, what the hell? God, what the fucking creep. And he tries to launch a strike right into the middle of her chest. And he goes, huh? My rape strike hit by my fingers. So cold. And you see, what? What's this? And Alita just hops on his arm and bounces off him as he goes flying past her. Yeah, Rakan tripped and rammed into the wall. How careless of him. And you go, psychological tactics that manipulate mental space. It's like, what? And Taraba's like, that girl. She's got something. But does she know it? And Alita goes, Toji, about what you asked. She goes, my mind and body can move freely. I'm confident no one can defeat me. But I feel as if I'm falling from a great height, in a curious state of suspension and deep loneliness. If I'm moving faster, accelerating in this descent, what awaits me at the end? We have the end of Volume 4. Alright. What time is it? I'm trying to wonder if I should start Volume 5. Because we're almost at 40 minutes. Let me pause this really quick. Alright, yeah, I'm going to cut this one off here, and then I'll upload another probably 30-minute video with the first little bit of Volume 5. But yeah, hope you all are glad that Battle Angel Alita is back. I will do a proper review of the volumes, I think, at a later date, because I kind of want to sit with my thoughts, maybe write out a proper script before I get too deep into this. But if I remember correctly, there wasn't a lot that happened in this volume apart from, the Space Karate Forces fighting with Alita. Because this was something I didn't pick up on prior read-throughs, but I kind of picked up and noticed on this one, is kind of the exploration towards, the concept of enlightenment, like what enlightenment looks like and what it means and everything like that. So it's interesting that like the last little bit of Volume 4 is kind of more deeply exploring, the idea of consciousness, enlightenment, what it means to become enlightened and things like that. So I'm curious as to what answers we're going to get with that, with regards to, what Alita's going through, like her journey, her development, everything else like that. I really do love all the individual karate masters are being introduced to, except for, was it Rakan? That guy's just an absolute creep. Hope he's getting his comeuppance. But yeah, like I said, I will have the first little bit of Part 5 out sometime today, so I hope you all look forward to that. As always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. The read-throughs are back on the channel for now, so I'll have an update later today talking about what's going to be up for next week. And until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.